Okay.
Oops.
So now that that's all set up, I just want to say, thank you everybody for joining the stream today. My name is Vaughn Saints the Third. Today I will be going as the narrator of this Marvel Multiverse RPG campaign called New Ultimate Alliance. It is something that I've written from the ground up for myself and for these amazing players that we're going to be playing with today. We have an amazing, lively cast of streamers and players and D&D connoisseurs all around, right? And we're very, very excited to show you guys what we have in store and what everybody has made as their characters. And I hope you guys stay all the way all throughout the entire ride to see how these characters develop. And right now, let's go ahead and meet the cast, right? So let's start from the top and let's greet our first member, Foxtail.
Mm-hmm. Hello, nice to meet you all. I'm guessing we're introducing ourselves, not our characters yet?
Or not our characters yet. Yeah, not our characters.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Tulsami. My friends call me Ghost. I'm a very big lover of all things nerdy. So, you know, I've played RPGs for maybe more than a decade now. I'm a professional dungeon master on my own time. But it's not about me. It's about our dungeon master here today. Wow. So letting them take the reins. I've got a lot of game time under my belt. Today I'll be playing a very low-level, street-level character, though. So yeah, just a disclaimer, I'm not the most learned or knowledgeable when it comes to the Marvel Universe as a whole, but that's kind of why I wanted to be in this in the first place, because I get to see it from a new lens and from the viewpoint of someone who's also new to it, so natural way of just learning about the setting. All right, yeah, thanks for watching.
All right, there you have it. That's Ghost or Tulsami for everybody. Right, let's go ahead and introduce Hush, the amazing, not so Spider-Man.
Not very amazing.
All right, go ahead.
So no character introduction, just a personal introduction. I'm not gonna say my Discord specifically or what I'm going as in my usernames, but people call me Raggy. People usually call me that. There's nothing too much about me. I have homebrew D&D experience. Haven't been playing for too long, but I've been watching a lot of D&D related stuff. The finger gun, hell yeah. So far, Marvel, I'm very interested in it. I've seen shorts, I've read some comics that I have like laying around, specifically Spider-Man. And speaking of Spider-Man, big, I'm trying not to curse, big Spider fan over here. I know, not too much, but I feel like enough to be called a Spider fan, and that's basically it. I have a somewhat not basic level understanding of Marvel, and I'm here to try out the this game, the multiverse role-playing game, Marvel. That's it.
All right.
Wow, that means you love Tom Holland, huh? As Spider-Man.
Shut the... It's good, but not the best.
You know, Raggy, you know what they say, with great power, you gotta keep that mouth in check, yeah? With great power.
I'm trying to be Spider-Man over here, not Deadpool.
All right, moving on, let's go ahead to our resident buff werewolf, Buffy, right? So go ahead, Direwolf.
Hello, my name is Benny, and yes, personal introduction. Yeah, okay. What's personal about me? I like frogs. Wow. And I like frogs. I like doing frogs. What else? I draw stuff. What else do I do? I yell at my friends a lot out of affection. And I do have experience in D&D. I am an avid role player in the D&D community. I've been playing for at least 6 years in maybe, I lost count how many campaigns I'm already in. But yes, currently in 5 or 4 right now, including this one. Maybe, yes. I have ADHD.
Wow, great to know. That's one superpower.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Does that give them trouble on?
Yeah.
Even trouble on all perception checks.
Oh, no.
Don't worry.
Okay.
I believe in the dice. Do not-
Moving on to our you can see here the resident smug and chunibyo of the group. We have the twin-tailed Poppy Carnaby. Would you like to introduce yourself?
That
The little British girl.
Hello, no British right now, but hi, I'm Conejo. I'm a pixel artist and Dota addict. I have played D&D and Cyberpunk Red. I know nothing about Marvel, and I only went to the cinemas for Deadpool. Yay!
you did not tell us you were a Dota addict.
You
I
are.
didn't.
Yeah, we got a Dota addict in the chat, guys. Come on.
She's a Dota addict.
L.
She is a
I
Dota
literally just
addict.
played like
At least it's
3
not
games
League,
for this game.
guys.
Fair enough.
Oh my god.
Lord mercy.
Who do you main?
I like playing a Dark Willow
Oh.
and Hoodwink, and I was also in the top 20 for the short film contest back in 2023.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
So base.
Wow.
I dropped, but goddamn.
All right, we
I
got
was there when she drew it. Not for
You have a
me.
Nobel Prize
I
winner
was there.
in the group. I didn't know about that.
It was not important.
All right, of course, last but definitely not least, we have the one and only Skylight, as some people called her in the chat. Wasn't aware of it.
Oh.
Sky.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Skylights are my,
stage.
my community, actually.
Oh,
but
oh, very nice.
actually. But anyway, sorry about that. Hi, Skya. I'm Sky Senfort. I am a curious variety VTuber. I stream a lot of things, but today we are playing the MMRPG together with all these wonderful people. My experience in D&D is I have been a player for like 2 years, 3. I don't remember. Maybe like start of pandemic. I forget. But like our poor forever DM has pampered us, and I have hosted kind of like very homebrew things for my viewers before. But generally speaking, I think I'm okay at D&D. So yeah, yay!
Yay! All right.
Oh, and, wait,
Uh-huh.
Marvel experience, very surface level. That is all.
Oh no, I forgot to say my Marvel experience. Sugar honey iced tea. I play Marvel Rivals.
Damn.
All right. So that is everybody. Did I miss everybody? I don't think I missed anybody. Did I?
What about
Forgot
yourself?
Jarvis. Oh
What
yeah,
about you?
narrator.
Oh, you're right. Okay. I am Vontae Sator, as I said so earlier. I am the narrator for today. And I will be marching these wonderful cast of people down the alleys and streets of New York City. And we are going to unravel mysteries, and we're going to unravel lots and lots of puzzles together. And hopefully, as the narrator, I can break these characters one by one. Right? To see
Wait a
what
minute.
limits they can afford to, right? And in terms of Marvel knowledge, I am very, very knowledgeable. I am a big time Marvel fan. This is the whole reason why I wanted to do this thing in the first place. I'm a big D&D fan, and I love Marvel. And I thought, well, there's an MMRPG that's 2 things that I love in one, and so why not, right? Majority of my childhood, even up till now, majority of it is Marvel, really. And I'm a big Doctor Doom fan, as you can see over here. And I'm just an overall nerd as well, right? For those of you who may or may not know me, I have been streaming. I was also a VTuber for a time until I became a flesh tuber after that, and then I stopped streaming for like a year, and then I'm back right now. Hey guys, I know,
How does
I'm
it feel to
the-
be flesh?
I'll tell you, it's very weak. The moment I recognize the weakness of my flesh,
Oh god! Oh, get that phrase out of here! I hear it every day, please. Oh my god!
Imagine still rocking flesh in 2025. Couldn't be me.
Yeah.
I know, right? I know. But yeah, that is me. I am the narrator, and hopefully you won't get sick and tired of my voice, because you'll hear it for a while. You'll hear it a lot, right? So, yeah. Is everybody ready to begin?
No.
Yes.
Yes,
I mean, yes, Chef.
Yeah.
Before we begin, let me just do a little quick shout out for everybody in the chat. We got Quartz Kortzvich. Welcome to the chat. Of course, we got Bemi's here, Zenny the Druid. Hello, Miona, Lunatrix. Welcome to the stream. We got Anima Sparrow. We got Erishi. Welcome. We also have Cod. Where is that? I saw Cod earlier. Cod of Wisdom. Welcome to the stream, everybody. I appreciate everybody hopping in, and I hope everybody will enjoy their time. We're going to be streaming for the better part of the few hours that we're going to be given to us. So I hope you enjoy us. Without further ado, y'all ready?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Oh my god, yes.
Aye, Captain.
I can't hear you.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Now, since now we're all over here, let me put you guys into a little bit of a cinemascape, right? Some people would call it. Hopefully you guys can hear the music in the background now.
Ooh, some
Yep,
mood
audible.
setting in here.
All right. In the busy and chaotic streets of Hell's Kitchen, there lies a young detective, right? And this young detective is investigating a robbery gone wrong in a convenience store with his partner, Denise Hernandez. These two are said to be one of the youngest promoted detective of the force. And in this particular scene, a robbery had gone wrong, and the victim, although not killed, had been rushed to the ER already. And they're over here trying to discern what happened, questioning the store clerk, investigating the scene of the crime. Foxtail, why don't you introduce us to your character?
All right. Sitting with his eyes glued to a small little moleskin notebook that he's got open, Dominic Knight is busying himself, thumbing over notes, talking over to his partner, all the while just, knuckles digging into their cheek, pressing in between locks of platinum blonde hair in between. He's got a very tired look to himself, with the bags to show for it. And if you are perceptive enough or are able to discern at a glance just those kinds of details, you can see the hint of a cybernetic overlay placed within their left eye, though it is very subtle, like I just said. I'd imagine he would be, just going over the details, busying himself, trying to talk over with whatever forensics team might also be on site too.
As you stand over there jotting over your notes, you see the store clerk sort of in front of you, and he goes, "Is it over? Are you gonna get this guy?"
We're still figuring things out. Don't worry. Right now, we need you to remain calm and tell us everything that happened.
I don't know what to tell you, all right? Like I told the police officer that came in here, all right? He came in here with a gun. It's so stupid. To be honest, I didn't even see a gun. His hand was in his pocket, but he took all my cash. What did you say your name was?
Dominic. Officer Dominic Knight.
Officer Knight. Officer Knight,
rather.
please, I'm begging you. That cash, it means a lot to my family. This store is all we have. We're a family built. This is a convenience store built on a family. We have nothing.
Put a hand on his shoulder. It's all right. We're getting this guy.
And the store clerk sort of goes back in there very disappointedly, right? And Denise Hernandez sort of looks at you, and she just goes, "Well, I didn't think you still had your soft touch with you."
Even I'm not made of stone, Denise. Look at this. It's a mess.
Sure, but you sure make yourself look like you're made of stone. But you are a big softie, I can tell. Now, why don't you go ahead and tell me what you see in here?
What do I see in here, DM?
In the scene of the crime, you managed to make out some blood on the floor. You could see it. It's sort of like dragging towards the wall of the clerk. You know how in cashiers they have like a little sub table, right? In that sub table, you see like a blood dripping down as if the victim had been pushed in there and walled down to the floor, and just lots and lots of blood pooling down the floor, as if you can tell that that the victim had been here for a while, and you can see that a lot of the things by the exit, a lot of like the stand or like the where the chips are and everything, they're all like falling down on the floor as if there was like a rush, right? And you see a little bit of a bullet casing on the floor, particularly maybe 2 bullet casings.
I'd like to, do the Arkham Knight detective mode thing, if you would.
Okay.
Where the cybernetic in my eye kind of lights up for a moment. I kind of point my head to the ground, looking over towards the bullet casing, trying to see what smoke trails emit from it, or maybe like an analysis of the bullet to see if I can get like an ID of the gun, those kinds of things.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you tap sort of like your temple to try and activate your eye, your cybernetic eye, in your own vision, nobody else sees this except you. In your own vision, you sort of see like a holographic interpretation of what you think happened here based on the evidences laid out in front of you, right? So you see that the person you're looking for is about 6 feet tall based on the trajectory of the bullet that the victim had from his shoulder, and you can see also like a bullet mark on the cashier and where the bullet landed overall, and you can tell that the figure might be like a male, 6 feet tall, and the bullet casings you can tell that he was using sort of like a .99 99 millimeters, so basic standard issue pistol essentially, right? And as you're investigating this, your radio becomes active. You hear that, you and Denise Hernandez, and you hear the call: dispatch to all nearby units, Times Square, 1560 Broadway. We have an active 245 with 5 male subjects, code 12031, possible hostage situation, requesting immediate assistance. Now,
I'll look over. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, from your position, you can tell you are in Hell's Kitchen. You are only a few blocks away from Times Square.
All right, I'll look over to Denise. I didn't really run this through with you, but he does have a riot shield as his main signature item, right?
Yes.
Alongside like a standard issue, I would say like a Glock, most likely for
Okay.
I like to imagine that the riot shield kind of folds outwards from some mechanism on his wrist.
Mm-hmm.
If that would be
Wow,
okay.
like so it's
Just
like a retractable thing,
yeah.
like a
Like a retractable thing, yeah. Yeah, okay. So I'll just get that ready and start suiting up, already putting on like my standard helmet on as I look over to Denise. And I'll tell her, we've got work to do.
Yeah, sounds like it. For everyone's references, for the code that I use, 245 means assault with a deadly weapon, and code 12031 means possession of a loaded firearm. Okay. I imagine you and Denise sort of go into the car and you sort of get ready, and you sort of like, what do you tell this clerk, by the way, as you rush out of there?
I'll leave him with my my contact details, most likely, as well as get theirs. There's a situation, but we're on top of things.
No, you can't do this. The other police officer said the same thing. You won't get back to me on this. Please.
We will. And then we'll just head on out.
Yeah, you see him like he sort of like puts both his hand on his head and he like he drops it heavily on the floor. He's like, oh man. He starts crying on his own. he's like a very old man, but he's like losing hair already. He's got like he's balding already. He's very old.
Who was killed, by the way? Was it like the cashier of the store?
It was another customer. From what you can tell, it was another customer that got killed. Maybe somebody who tried to play hero and tried to fend off the robber or whatnot.
Do I have an identity on, like, a general description of the victim?
The general description of the victim is like a 5-foot man. He's brown and he's nothing special about him. He seems to be a young adolescent, maybe still in college or maybe just graduated college, more or less.
Okay, I'll try to find imagine before we had left, I'd look for like an ID or something so I can notify his family.
Yeah, of course. You also have his DNA on the blood, so I imagine forensics are also on their way to try and ID the person and whatnot when they can. Right. So
yeah.
Both you and Denise get into the car and you both rush off, right, to go to the scene of the crime, right? And that is Foxtail. All right, now let's head on over to... Now, in the busy streets of New York, as mentioned earlier, New York can be quite chaotic. It is the concrete jungle of the West, as it's called, where American dreams are made of. Now, in order for you to achieve your American dream, most often than not, you have to make the front page of some sorts. Speaking of front page, in the prolific building of the Daily Bugle, a young reporter is currently submitting a piece about Mayor Wilson Fisk to the editor-in-chief, J. Jonah Jameson. Jenny Porter, describe your character.
So you see this somewhat disheveled, but definitely trying to put herself together, woman in her mid-20s. She's got somewhat warm, brown, black, almost black hair. And she's bespectacled. She has glasses on, and you can see her trying to gesture her way through this pitch that she's showing to the chief. She's wearing a emerald green turtleneck and what seems to be like a pencil skirt, tights, and basic office heels. Very professional attire, and she has her staff ID on her as well. And you can kind of overhear saying, like, Chief, look, I know I've been at this for a while, but I promise this will be a great story for the paper, please. And you could see that she looks a little tired.
Okay. As you present your case to J. Jonah Jameson, he's sort of like, you know how he is. He's sitting at the table. He's a very grumpy old man with sort of like just a mustache and graying hair. He's sitting back all the way from his reclining chair with his foot up on the table and with a cigar, a very, very thick cigar still on his mouth, and he pulls it out and he goes, "Partner, I swear to God, if you don't give me a proper news, you will be fired. All right? You cannot keep using the mayor for his criminal past, especially when the public has already voted him mayor regardless of that past. I need a real scoop from you, Porter."
Yes, Chief. I mean, this is a proper story, isn't it? I spent the past 5 sleepless nights putting this together, and well, if this doesn't count as a story, what would you like me to write about, Chief? Since we have to put this out very soon. And then she looks at her phone, and she sees that the deadlines are nearing, and there's just a lot of unchecked boxes, and she's like, what would you like to see, Chief?
Give me that. He takes the manuscript from you, and he takes a look, at them, and you can he's not even reading any of them. He just sort of glances over them one by one. Trash, bad publicity, not good, poorly written, bad grammar, and he throws everything out all across the floor.
Her eyes widen as she watches all of her hard work fly out the window, and she's gripping her fingers into her palm. She's like, okay.
Now, Porter, you asked me what you want, what I want. For a real story, I want you to make a story about this masked menace. They are all over the news, all right? With this Wilson Fisk pouring down his hammer, his fist of hammer, his iron fist. I can't get my words right. You piss me off, Porter. You give me another shit story like this, and I swear to God, it's your ass on the line. Now, what I want from you is to get a real scoop on the masked menace of society, all right? And make sure we get on the front page, because Wilson Fisk is taking everything on the front page, please. You understand?
Chief, do you mean the vigilantes in general, or is there a specific vigilante we're writing about?
He looks at you very dumbfoundedly as you say that. Right? He goes, "What? You just started working here? Of course I'm Spider-Man. And all the other masked menaces out there, they're crawling everywhere."
You can kind
Box
of see
or
on her
no
face, she was thinking like, of course, why did I even ask? But she doesn't say that. And she's like, yes, Chief, I will look into it. Thank you for the
Now,
lead.
Just in, right, as you're going through the motions with J. Jonah Jameson, Betty Brandt, sort of like another office worker at the Daily Bugle with short hair and very the slender figure, sort of like knocks on the door and she goes like, Mr. Jameson, I'm sorry to interrupt, but you need to check the news. What? What could possibly be so important that I have to go in here and get up my ass? Sir, you really need to see this. Alright, so he looks at Porter and he goes like, You want to make yourself useful? Watch the news. Tell me what it's about.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, Jenny, you go out the room and you sort of like watch the news. Just like they have this. Imagine like an office space. Have you seen like Wolf of Wall Street, where it's a giant office space where lots of paperwork are flying. There's like people on the phone, and it's kind of noisy. It's very chaotic, but also like very corporate, right? And in the middle, by the window, you can see like a giant sort of like a TV screen where everybody watches the news to catch up on the latest gossip or the latest scoop, right? And in here, you see sort of like a news flash, right? And in here, you see sort of like a footage of what looks like a terrorist attack in Times Square with 5 masked men holding very technologically advanced rifles, threatening to blow up the area with a bomb if Mayor Fisk doesn't come down from his position as mayor, right? You see them like sort of yelling all over the place. We want Fisk, all right? We have saved every one of you. How many lives have we saved? And this is what you do to us? Fisk, come down and face us, or we will blow up Times Square. Like they're very eccentric. Now, Jenny, do you react in any way before I continue?
Her as she's watching, her arms are crossed, but like she's really surprised. And instead of just going back to the office and telling the chief, she just like calls him on the phone
In the intercom, yeah.
and then she like video calls the screen, and she's like, Chief. She's kind of at a loss for words. She just shows what's going on.
What? God damn it, Porter! If you're not gonna speak, drop the goddamn phone! You're wasting our electricity! And he drops the phone.
Sir, this is my own. She walks all the way back to the office like, Sir, there's a terrorist attack happening at, wait, what was it? Times Square?
Yeah, Times Square, yeah.
At Times Square.
Terrorist
And
attack!
there's 5 masked vigilantes there.
Sir! I'm gonna cut you off right there. Did you say masked vigilantes?
Yes, Chief.
What the hell are you still doing here? Get out there and get real sorry!
Sir, yes, sir. And then she throws her hands up in the air defeatedly, and then like she just like walks out and immediately goes to get her necessary gear. Basically.
Yeah.
She's like,
As you try to get your belongings and walk out of there, you take one last look at the TV and you notice something. This time, one of the camera crew from the news anchor on the scene, they sort of like zoom in on these masked men. And as mentioned earlier, they were holding like technologically advanced weaponry. And actually, Jenny, you would recognize these weapons as the same weapons you saw on the underground basement of Alchemax when you were there.
The camera zooms in on her face as she furrows her brows, realizing. And she's like, she thinks like, I gotta get there fast. And then, she hurriedly heads out.
That's right. Okay, that is Jenny Porter. Okay, next, let's move on to now in the City University of New York, Brooklyn College, right? There's a young student who was in the middle of a test in his college university, and you can tell just from his facial expression that he's having a fairly hard time answering this test, right? You can see him fidgeting on his pen. His professor is sort of eyeing everybody on the room, and his best friend sitting just right beside him, taking the same test as well, both looking very, very anxious to get anything right or wrong in this test, right? So, Riley, describe your character.
So, Riley Gunfer, not saying the superhero name yet, is a 20-year-old, just 20-year-old college student, clearly, from being here in Brooklyn College. And, well, there's nothing too special about Hush, other than him being a bit of a social, introvert, I guess. Not talking too much with other people, not going out with friends, even though he has some, but not too many. And, well, that's really it as Riley Gunfer.
Okay. As you take the test, you sort of feel like a little nudge on your foot, right? And it's your best friend, right? And he's sort of just like eyeballing you. It's like, Riley.
Hold on, quick one.
Mhm.
Do I specifically know this person?
Yes, you know this is
the
your
name.
best friend. His name is Xander.
Okay. So I'm just gonna hunch down, looking at my paper, trying to remember what the answer is here. I'm gonna say, dude, what? I can't. I'm struggling too.
He sort of like gestures his hand to like 9, like number 9. He's just like 9 fingers are going up. He's like, come on, I know you know it.
I'm gonna say, you're at 9, dude. This is 50 questions.
Why do you think I'm asking you for help? Come on.
Fine. I'll look up really quick to see if the teacher's looking at us or anything, any person, and I'll just say, it's D. It's D. You know this. We studied.
It's D. Are you sure? Now, in your question, number 9, basically the question is, how far is the Earth from the sun? Right.
Oh.
That's the question. Right? There is a multiple choice in there, right? And you say D is the answer, right? Okay, I'll answer D. And he circles it, and you sort of, you don't see it, but on your paper, letter D says 100 trillion miles away.
Oh,
okay, it's letter D. And then
wait,
yeah, what? You said letter D. I'm answering letter D.
I think we have different answer sheets.
What? What do you mean?
Different answer sheets. It's not supposed to be that.
No,
what do you mean?
Not. Listen, I know what you're trying to do. Okay, you're trying to get me in trouble for the thing I did to you last time. Okay, I'm sorry I embarrassed you in front of the girl you like. All right, but
there's literally a code for the test right there on the top right. Do you not see it?
What?
We have the same questions and different answers. That's how these tests work.
What? Yeah, he sort of looks over you see him like muffled through his paper where he does a lot of like that, and he looks at it. It was like, what does yours say?
What do you mean? What does mine say?
What does your code say?
It's 1807.
What?
Okay.
I have 1205. And then
I told you.
And then he audibly goes, fuck. He goes like that. And the professor sort of feels like, shut up. Mr. Xander, is there anything you'd like to discuss in front of the room? Maybe share with all of us your profanities. And it just goes, sorry, sir. No, I stubbed my toe. That's it. Riley stepped on my toes by accident. Yeah, it's nothing. Riley?
I didn't. I tried getting an eraser that fell over. I accidentally kicked him. His leg was very far from his chair, ma'am. Professor.
Ma'am, and you see he walks up. It's a man, by the way, who looks kind of like dressed very very woman-like. So your mistake. And he walks over and he goes like, Mr. Riley, Mr. Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't you had enough trouble this week yet? You want to be sent to the dean's office again? I'm sure your uncle would love to hear all about this.
there's good reasons for all of that, Professor.
You see Xander like laughing his fucking ass, like snickering in the background, like that and everything. And he goes like, and he looks at your paper and he just goes, "Everyone, please read the instructions carefully." And then he walks back. And then he walks back to in front of the class, right? I was like, damn.
Ooh.
Now, as he starts walking back, in the middle of the test, your phone sort of vibrates, right? And it vibrates nonstop. Right now, at first you don't check it for a while until it's just that's buzzing. It's almost making a ruckus already, right? Do you pull it out? What do you do?
I'll think to myself or like mutter really quietly, like, I told my uncle I can't do anything at this time. And then I'll just look at it like really quick, like a quick peek.
Okay. You take a look at your phone and you see notification. News notification, actually. You see like pop up maybe like from I almost said Daily Planet. That's a completely different franchise. You see you see news coming in from like from Insider, from the Forbes, right? And everyone's like talking about this terrorist attack in Times Square, right? And on the other hand, you also have an application that tracks police activity. It's like a police scanner of some sort, and you see them mobilizing towards Central Times Square, right? And as you're looking through your phone, the professor once again comes up to you, and he catches you looking at your phone, and he goes, "Mr. Gunther, cheating, are we? And so boldly in front of my face too, with a loud vibration on your phone.
Sorry, Professor. There's I was subscribed to this newsletter. I tried closing it to like remove the vibration. You know?
He cuts you off and he puts his finger on your lips. He goes like, excuses. I've had enough of your mischief, Mr. Gunther. Do you understand? Last time, I don't appreciate you putting peanut butter sandwich in my underwear without me knowing. Okay? Now that will not pass anymore. Do you understand? And you see Xander start like stickering in there. You can tell Xander did that shit and blamed it on you. and he goes, I will have none of it. I am going to call you into the dean's office now. You are an automatic fail on this test. Do you understand, Mr. Gunther?
Yes, ma'am. I'm Professor.
Out.
Yeah, Professor. Okay.
You walk out, and as you're walking out, you see Xander sort of like very like pleading with both his hands, like in a prayer position. He goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Ooh. He goes like that, and there you go. You go out of the dean's office. Do you do anything else before you leave?
I'm gonna, while on the way to the dean's office, I'm just gonna read up about the news about the happenings of that terrorist attack. That's it.
Okay, and as you read, it's what I've discussed before in the other with the other characters prior to this. You know, there are 5 masked men with technically advanced weaponry with them, right? And all the police are in there, and it seems to tell you that a great danger is about to happen if that many police activity is, you know, going off, right? Okay. And that is Riley Gunther, everybody. And now, let's head on over to... Now, in Midtown High, in the gymnasium, a group of students are running all across the court with sweat dripping down on the floor and multiple squeaks of rubber shoes, you know, dragging through the floor. It can be heard all across, right? Now, among the crowd, we see a twin-tailed young girl who looks even more exhausted than the rest of the class, right? Like you can see her sort of like very lethargically dragging both her feet off of the floor, just trying to finish those last few laps. I was like, Whitechapel, would you like to introduce your character?
So, as the narrator has described, a very, very small girl in her physical ed uniform right now, I assume, and she has twin tails, black hair with purple highlights. She is not athletic at all. She does not care much about athletics, but she's gotta do it. It's school, after all. How many more laps do I have to do? Is it done yet?
You say
Not
this and
yet, Miss Chapel. Keep going. You need about 5 more rounds after missing out the rest of the team. Keep
Now-
going.
right on cue, as Pumpkin Whitechapel catches her breath on the side, she is approached by her PE teacher, right? Who is sort of like just there on the side, watching everybody, overseeing with both her arms sort of like on her waist, in her tracksuit, and just like ready with her whistle down in her mouth, and scolding Poppy. Would you like to describe your character?
See, Muriel Hale, aka Muffy, is a 28-year-old gym teacher. Here in like a normal woman, she is now trying to teach kids how to do the abilities of physical labor, aka exercising, because it's a requirement in life. Something I've learned myself. She has her hair tied up in a messy blonde. Her brown hair is all a little frizzled. While she looks down at her student, a little disappointed. Again. Miss Whitechapel, I know you're not interested in exercising at all, as you said throughout our whole PE sessions, but I believe in you, okay? You're almost there. You did better. You did at least
I
4
don't
laps.
see how this will be important for me in the later part of my life.
Well, at one point, if you feel like you need to run, you'll thank me. Now keep running. I blow my whistle in front of her, and I point at the track, like, yep, go, snapping her fingers. Come on.
I refuse to run, but I do it anyway while I curse the professor in my head.
Okay.
I give her a thumbs up from the back.
As Pumpkin sort of just runs around the lap of the gymnasium, sort of dragging her entire body. It almost feels like she's dragging an entire chain ball to her leg as she does this entire exercise. One of her classmates sort of like jogs like on her side, like Captain America in Winter Soldier, where she's like on your left, that type of stuff. So he sort of like jogs, and he sort of keeps the pace just to match Pumpkin, and it just goes, "How is your highness keeping up?" and then he runs, and he runs towards. She runs past you, Pumpkin.
I would like to.
What?
Oh no!
You can do it. What do you want
I
to do?
would like to slightly, ever so slightly, levitate from the ground and catch up to him, while pretending that I have lightning speed and pass by him, just because I'm petty.
Okay, as you do that, you run past this kid, which, by the way, is named George, right? You run past George, and just goes,
George.
What? So he sort of looks shocked a little bit, and then he keeps up the pace. You can see him; he's really trying really hard. He starts like panting a little bit, and like he tries to catch up with you. And he was like, "Oh, so your highness is hiding a little bit of some stamina. Well, guess what? Can you do this?" And then he starts doing some 360, some basketball stuff, 360, and starts jumping around needlessly and everything. And he sort of tires himself out. He was like, Can you do that? Can you do that?
My. Out of breath, are we? And now you're trying to do something else? Pathetic.
As you say that, I will say that your levitation magic sort of wears off because of how tired you are to begin with. Imagine you're not in the best shape to be focusing on any power right now. And as you say that, you sort of like your feet lands exactly on the floor, but since you're not balanced at all, it sort of tips and it lands you straight flat to the floor, gymnasium, and it makes a loud crack. Can be heard echoing throughout the gymnasium, and everyone stops moving.
Oh God, is this where I intervene, narrator?
Yeah.
Because this is not gonna look good on
My hand is just up there while my body's on the ground.
Ah.
You can hear George laughing in the background. He sort of like laughs like that, very annoyingly.
Narrator, as that's happening, I would like to blow a whistle right behind George.
Okay.
George!
Ma'am?
What are you doing there standing and laughing at your classmate? Help her up! Help her up!
George goes like, helps Poppy up and everything, and he's just sort of he avoids eye contact with Pumpkin and everything. He's like, all of a sudden his behavior is he's like very timid now. You know, it's like he's very quiet. And he's like, here you go. He lifts Pumpkin
George,
up
I
like
want to
that.
talk to you later after this.
Who, me? Oh, sorry.
Oh,
I'm a George, right?
George! Yes, I was talking about George.
Right, George.
I don't have Deadpool powers. I can't break the fourth wall.
Right. So George was like, yeah, yes, ma'am. Now, as you, Pumpkin, do you react? Do you say anything?
After he helps me up, I like pat my uniform down a bit, and then I just go, huh. And then with very perfect intervals, I whip my hair to his face. Look back and then walk away.
Perfect intervals. Okay.
You
Okay.
alright, Miss Chapel?
That fall did not hurt at all. You can very much feel the pain in her voice as she tries to brush it off and she walks away without looking back because she's very embarrassed.
Alright. Go ahead and take a break, Miss Chapel. As for the rest of you, narrator, throughout Miss Chapel's fall, did I observe any of her classmates either, being all on sportsmanship, like, oh, they're laughing, just pointing at an or nothing or something?
Yeah, definitely. You can see some of the students sort of like whispering to one another, like giggling to themselves. Nobody's like outright laughing out loud like George did. Especially after you called out George, everyone's a little bit more on edge, right? But they're all like, you can tell that they're gossiping about Pumpkin. And as you know, as a teacher, Pumpkin doesn't really have the best reputation in school in terms of like socializing and social life in general.
All right. Class, as the rest of you, after that little fiasco, George will lead us as an example to lead, let's say, maybe 10 more laps running around after that.
What? But teacher!
Except for you, Miss Whitechapel. Please go to the clinic after that.
Oh, thank you, Miss Hale, as I exaggerate my limp towards the infirmary with one hand on my forehead. Oh, the pain. Looks
as you announce this, everybody makes like a groaning sound. Like all the students are like, "Oh my god," and you think you're trying to help Pumpkin, but in reality, everybody sort of gives Pumpkin like a mean eye, we goes like, because of you, we're gonna run 10 more laps, so you can tell that their hate for her sort of like grows even more with this, right?
Like IRL.
So as Pumpkin sort of like walks out to the door, Muriel, you will get a lot of notification from your phone from the teachers group chat, right? You guys have like a little group chat. Are you active in that group chat?
She tries, at least.
Like
Anything
socially.
to do with work, she's active, but anything outside of that, it's sparse.
Okay, now as in the group chat, a lot of the teachers starts start gossiping and talking, right, and everything. And one of them sort of like brings up a link to the terrorist attack that's happening in Times Square, and it's like a video, it's like a YouTube footage of like a very amateurly, like UFO sightings type of type of footage where it's like zoomed in like times 40. You can barely make up of what's happening, but when you click the video, you can definitely tell that something bad is happening in Times Square, and it's actually you also see a link for a live coverage of the incident.
Muffy's gonna squint her eyes, and she just whispers, really? During work? Okay. She's gonna go ahead and turn back to class as, I assume they're already trying to run.
They're all really tired. They're all like dragging their bodies across the water. It's like hell in here. The amount of groaning that you hear from all of these high schoolers.
Just like back in the military. Muffy's going ahead and go ahead and announce again. She blows her whistle and says, all right, I think I've punished you all enough. But remember, as classmates, you're all a team, help each other out, and class ended. Go. Hit the showers. All of you.
Everybody, actually, you don't get a reaction at all, actually. Everybody just looks at you and they all turn to the exit and start walking like zombies almost. And for Pumpkin...
you, George, next time, you're gonna run 10 more laps. Next class.
It's like groaning. For Pumpkin, as you sort of like walk towards the infirmary, you hear you sort of like fall down to the floor on your knees, right? And your head starts hurting. You were faking it earlier, but now it's for real. Your head really hurts now, right? And you sort of hear the voices in your head grow louder, right? And the voices says, "It has begun. Follow the thread. It could lead us to a bloodstone." Now, Pumpkin, your vision grows darker in red as they shift to an aerial view of the terrorist attack in Times Square, as if looking through a bird's eye view, right? So you sort of have like a drone shot of the terrorist attack, and you're seeing it live, right? Do you do anything? Do you react then to anything?
Miss Hale did say that I have to go to the infirmary. She didn't say which infirmary, and I don't even know what the infirmary is, so I might as well go somewhere else to quote-unquote relax. I would like to follow the thread, sir.
Okay. Alright. And with that is Pumpkin and Muriel Hales. Alright, now that is everybody introduced so far. Right.
Woo-hoo.
Now, as everybody is going on about their day, maybe they're on the way to Times Square, maybe they're watching Times Square. Now we shift our perspective. This is something that you can vaguely see in the videos, right? Now, as you have all already been informed, a massive attack was launched in Times Square as 5 masked individuals with advanced weaponry threatens the area. Bringing out a large device that looks like a massive bomb. They shoot extremely explosive shots in the air to call the attention of everyone, right? The shooting is very loud and people are panicking, but they're all standing still on the same spot at the same time. All right, they're all yelling out what they were yelling in the video footages. "You want Fisk? No! We have sacrificed our lives to save you! And what is our reward? We are outlawed and oppressed! You call us vigilantes, but we just want to save lives. We want to do what we think is right. We are heroes! Heroes we are! We do not deserve your contempt just because of one man! One mayor who we all know is not even a saint! He does not deserve the seat of the city. He sort of like he's very distraught, and he puts his hand over his face, and but now you're sick and tired of what you have done to us. Ungrateful city you are. You don't care about us. We cared about you for so long, our entire lives. And he shoots one more time up in the air. Very loud, like energy blasts from their weapons. Right? Now, alternatively, you all have an option. I will blow up this device, which will wipe out the entire Times Square and then some. If any one of you moves, I will push the button. If any one of you screams, I will push the button. If any one of you so much as twitches, I push the button. You want to survive? We want Fisk out of the city. Out of the seat, of the table. And as they make their claims towards the city of unrest, everybody is scared. Nobody feels for them, and everyone's just feeling for themselves, their own safety. Everyone's cowering, mothers crying, some baby on the crib sort of like crying, and their moms sort of, and their parents sort of like telling them not to move, not to make too much noise, because they're scared that these vigilantes will blow up the city, right? Now, after that, just in time, 4 of the terrorists go down mindlessly after being shot with tranquilizers from out of nowhere. And they all fall to the ground. The one remaining terrorist, the one who was speaking, sort of looks around like, oh, what happened? What happened? Who did that? And shortly after, a black SUV pulls up in the distance as the remainder of the terrorists stares in fear and confusion. Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, the mayor of New York City, steps out of the vehicle and faces the terrorists. You asked me to step down. Here I am, in front of you, out of my castle. Now, with that, Fisk's anti-vigilante task force rappels down from the nearby buildings, pointing their guns at the terrorists as they slowly walk forward, right? The terrorist is left with no choice but to surrender. And the people roar! The people roar and cheer as Wilson Fisk saves the day. Yeah! Oh, Mr. Mayor, thank you so much! And the news coverage, the news anchor, on the flip side of events, on a turn of events, Mayor Wilson Fisk has here and apprehended these vigilantes with his anti-vigilante task force. And this is spreading out throughout the entire media platform as everybody hails Wilson Fisk as the hero of New York. They are now dubbing Wilson Fisk as the shepherd of New York, a hero. Someone who is willing to put the needs of the city above their own safety. Wilson Fisk, a hero to everybody. Now, after the incident had passed, a couple of figures appear in front of us. Some time had passed and it is now nighttime. Elektra, a lithe silhouette draped in scarlet, twin blades flashing as her dark hair whips across her face. And Daredevil, a crimson figure, muscles coiled beneath battle-worn armor with a mask hiding blind eyes that see more than sight ever could. Both of these daredevils have captured and tortured a ninja who is dressed in red. Daredevil speaks. Where did you find him? Elektra replies, near the Times Square, just lurking around. The ninja spits blood all across his cloth covering his mouth. The hand will finally take the city. The head of the beast stands strong and tall. Daredevil and Elektra just look at each other awkwardly. The hand will finally take the city. The head of the beast stands strong and tall. Daredevil goes, this one's no use. Elektra pulls up her sai and begins to wind back her strike to try and strike this ninja. But she was interrupted by this man in a suit and tie. He introduces himself, he emerges from the darkness, and he goes, Agent Phil Coulson from S.H.I.E.L.D. I assume you've heard of it? And in this here, we reveal that Phil Coulson have been monitoring the Daredevils for a while. He mentions that the Hand has now potentially become a national threat, and that S.H.I.E.L.D. will take over now. Daredevil takes this as an insult. But Coulson threatens Matthew Murdoch, Daredevil's real name, of having him disbarred as a lawyer for breaking the law of New York City by acting as a vigilante. Not too long after, Coulson receives a call. His phone starts ringing. He picks up the phone. Agent Coulson, how can I help you? What? Impossible. Now? That can't be. Daredevil asks, what's wrong, Agent? And he goes, the Howard and Maria Stark Center for Galactic History just triggered an SOS signal several blocks and miles from them. Now, in a panic state, Phil Coulson of S.H.I.E.L.D. sort of steps away from everybody. In a panic state, he sends out an emergency call for all nearby heroes or S.H.I.E.L.D. agents to help and see what's going on. Now, Daredevil noticed that Coulson's heart rate increased dramatically. After Coulson gets some distance between him and the two Crimson Vigilantes, Daredevil speaks to Elektra and he goes, he's hiding something. Coulson turns around after the call and both the Vigilantes are no longer there. Now, luckily for Agent Phil Coulson here, there are nearby heroes. There's actually quite a number of them. And who would these heroes be, you might ask? Any guessers? Any takers who these heroes are?
It's Pikachu!
It's
Going
Pikachu!
for Jigglypuff.
Probably wondering how I got in this situation.
Another very heavily copyrighted.
Oh no, we're gonna get copyrighted. I got
Oh,
the
no.
N now from
Yep, that's me.
Japan. Oh well.
We're gonna get patented by by the big N. Oh my god, Nintendo.
Nintendo. Oh no.
All right. And as we're over here, now we reach in front of the Howard and Maria Stark Center for Galactic History. Right. Let me hold on. Shoo. All right. Everybody.